You look like you just won the Masters.
Thank you, man.
Look at
Green.
you.
I'm trying to put some money vibes out in the air.
I like it.
I've been spending a lot of money. I'm broke.
Well, how was your trip?
It was wonderful.
You went to see the country artist?
Yes.
I don't know the name.
Tyler Childers.
Yeah, you told me.
I think you dig him. Probably not, but give him a listen. Who knows?
I might. I like some country.
Yeah.
I like Morgan Wallen. I know that.
He's a lot more stripped back country than Morgan Wallen.
I'll take that too. Country's good with me.
So yeah, we drove. I stayed in Pennsylvania. We actually were supposed to drive straight to Saratoga Springs to see the concert in New York, but instead we decided to drive 3 hours to New Haven, Connecticut first to get pizza, and then drive to Saratoga Springs.
I hear New Haven, Connecticut is like the home of great pizza.
It's the home of great pizza.
And did you find
it
all
was absolutely incredible?
Better than New York style pizza?
I've had New York style pizza. That is better. But this particular style beats most New York styles.
Really? What's the style? What's it about?
It's just, I don't know, man. The crust is super charred. It's cooked a little bit extra. It's not greasy at all. There's no like runny cheese. It's just perfect thin crust pizza.
It is.
And the sauce is amazing.
In New Haven, Connecticut.
In New Haven, Connecticut, yes.
They say that's like the pizza capital.
Yeah, like, I mean, as far as pizza styles, it's up there in popularity with New York and Chicago and Detroit style pizza.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
It's two places literally like a block away from each other.
And they're the ones.
And
did you try a pizza at both?
Yeah, we went and got one at one at the other, and then ate both in a park.
Was there one better than the other?
Yeah, so it's called Sally's and Frank Pepe's.
Yeah.
Sally's was a little bit better. Their sauce was unlike any other sauce I've ever had.
Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. It was just fresh and stout and perfect, and it just fit everything well.
And worth the 3-hour drive.
Worth the 3-hour drive. Yes.
There's not a lot that's worth a 3-hour drive.
The pizza was pretty damn good, man.
Better than Buc-ee's. Better than the 3-hour drive.
I would rather go to get New Haven style pizza than go to Buc-ee's.
Okay.
That's just me, though.
If you say. And how was Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake. I was kind of disappointed with Justin Timberlake.
Wow, maybe it was the drunk driving thing.
Maybe it was, but he didn't mention that, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, well, he has made mention of it a couple of times.
I don't know if the case is still open or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I heard he messed around with it a little bit in some shows.
No, he didn't say anything about it. I was kind of hoping he'd just go, by the way, I only had one drink, and then go into a song, but, didn't mention it. It was hot as hell. I think there was about 25,000 people at the show, and he's a great performer. There's a lot of downtime in between hits, though.
Oh, really?
Justin Timberlake's a big name, and I kind of thought he had more hits, but there weren't a lot of crowd pops when songs started, which was kind of a bummer.
Well, for me, at a concert, that's what you have to have.
Exactly.
It's just like going to be hit after hit after hit.
Which that did not happen.
You can throw in a couple of new ones.
Yeah, absolutely, because he just put out a new album, and I expected that.
But give me mostly hits.
Cry Me a River came on. Everybody went crazy.
Yes.
And then that was the only real time where people went crazy at the concert.
Man.
It's kind of weird.
It's a good thing you like Childers.
I know, he was the man.
And it's a good thing you like that pizza.
Oh, my God, dude.
Let me ask you this. This is changing gears now.
Yeah.
I had a car accident while you were gone.
I'm sorry to hear about that. I was actually in line getting pizza when I heard about it.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
You saw the pictures?
I saw pictures on social media about it, yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Damn, dude. It's the end of an era, man. I feel for you.
I had that car 25 years.
That's got to be emotional in a lot of different respects, yeah.
A 1998 Acura.
Mint, might I say.
Mint in great condition.
Yes.
I should be hearing today how much I'm going to get out of it. You want to play a little Price is Right on that?
Ooh, okay.
They're supposed to call on Friday. I bet they'll call today or tomorrow.
Oh, dude, I don't even know where to start. Okay, 1998 AC.
Yeah.
How many miles did you have on it?
Not as many as you think, like 215,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, most of it was in good shape because it had been recently redone.
Yeah.
By the mechanics around here. I said I might be able. And if you go to Kelly Blue Book, it's over $2,000.
I was gonna say less than $1,000.
Most people are.
I was gonna say maybe $850.
My insurance man, I said, "Can I expect 4 figures?" He said, "Oh no, no, don't even
put that in your mind,
Don't
pal.
even think about that." So in that moment, here's the question. I had this last week when we did the square and the round.
Yeah.
If you that moment, you think to yourself, if I was playing pickleball before I got in the accident.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a pretty bad accident in that.
But you're okay. I guess
okay.
I should
Everybody
ask
was okay.
that.
Some of the other drivers in the other cars were sore and went to the hospital. I was a little bit sore. So what happened was I was driving north here on a thoroughfare here called Battleground Avenue.
Yeah.
45 miles an hour. That was the speed limit. I'm guessing that's roughly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right behind a Honda Accord. when we got to the intersection of Battleground and New Garden Road, a Toyota, illegally turned in front of the car in front of me.
Gotcha.
Nothing that guy could do.
Yeah.
He slammed into him. As soon as he did, both of them came at me. I slammed into one of them, and all 3 cars were totaled. I mean, and everybody there was like, I mean, it was such a bad enough wreck that the airbags came out. There was smoke all in the car. And it was like, I mean, for a minute, you're like, am I hurt? Am I hurt? Am I okay? Shaking like crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Had to get out of the passenger side. I was slammed up against one of the cars. They had trouble getting out. There were kids in the car screaming the other cars.
Yeah.
So if I had stayed another 15 minutes, one guy wanted to play another game.
Yeah.
I'd have missed it. Usually we play at a different place. If we had played there, I wouldn't have been in an accident, you know? So you start to think those things. And then I had read this last week. If you ever got to ask the questions, like if you were in heaven and they said, do you want to know the stats of your life? Would you ask, like, how many times you narrowly escaped?
How many close encounters with death did we have?
That you don't even know. That you don't even know.
That would be interesting.
You know, it might have been that if we'd played at the other place where we usually play, I go a different route and get killed. Who knows? Or much more likely,
completely.
Much more likely nothing
avoid it completely.
Happened. I don't know. It's a really. I would ask that if I get to heaven. And they say, do you want to know the stats of your life? My first question would be, show me the times I almost had terrible things happen and didn't, you know? Woo, isn't that an interesting question?
That is a very interesting question.
Better if we're stoned.
Yeah,
we are not. We are not.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think. I can't really, I guess it's really hard to predict that or
you can't,
see that.
There's
you
no
really
way to
can't.
say.
Yeah, you
there's
really
no
can't.
way to say. Because, of course, what I said was, oh, man, if I'd played one extra game, I'm 15 minutes after that accident.
Yeah.
Might not have been an accident. But instead, you know, I didn't stay.
You know, and I always think whenever I get caught in traffic or something holds me up, I always have this thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, this is happening for a reason.
It could be.
Maybe this is helping me through something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to say that to yourself because otherwise you're really annoyed.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you ever go by a really bad wreck, sometimes I think, God, I was probably 5 minutes from being in that building.
True.
You know, it's a really interesting thing. How many times do you avoid just barely something happening?
Well, I guess with your dad, it would be nice to know. Would you like to know if you were alive, though?
No, just after I'm dead.
After
I don't want to see that. The other, of course, is you know, what about how many times did I have sex?
Yeah.
How many times did I masturbate?
Yeah.
I mean, those numbers are going to
go
through the
roof. How many calories? How much money I've spent on everything.
Don't you wish, somebody said this to me one day, don't you wish you had every dime you've ever spent on something so frivolous like a candy bar or Coke or whatever it might be? You know?
How many times I've just scanned used my credit card on the vending machine downstairs.
Or even when you're a kid and your dad gives you $5 and you go spend it. If you'd saved it all on stuff you absolutely have no real need for.
I wish I was more frugal. I need to change that.
Well,
I wish I was able to like crunch money.
Do you know what I read about? I read this about willpower recently. I also had this. I think I had it last week, and you intentionally made me mad last week.
Sorry about that.
No,
actually, I'm not sorry.
No, I thought about that a lot.
Did you?
Yes. If you listen to last week's Square in the Round, you in the middle of it just went veering off and made me mad for no reason. You just brought that up to make me mad. That was the only reason, and then I never got to all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right.
Do you have good willpower? Probably not. Most people don't.
It depends. I can be very patient.
Can you?
I can deal with a lot.
Well, that's true.
But
like you know, when it comes to diet or saving money or whatever.
Not that.
Okay.
But like if I'm in a place where I'm being like I was on a plane 2 days ago, and we were on the runway for like 30 minutes waiting to get to the gate.
Yes.
I was totally fine.
Really?
Everybody around me was freaking out, losing their minds, shuffling. I have a great ability just to kind of sit there and be okay.
I do that too.
Yeah.
I've always been that way.
I don't let things bother me because that's out of my control.
Yeah, and then you can just get through it. And once you're through it, it's like, all right, got it.
What did I get all upset for?
Sometimes it is like just a mental thing of, all right, this is going to happen. We're going to do it. It's going to be over.
If I have to sit and wait, like when I was in jury duty the other day, and I just sat there the entire day, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Everybody was freaking out, tripping. You know, I was just.
This is more about this is about willpower, and I read this. I've never heard this about willpower. It says I'm surprised by this, but this is from a scientific journal that says we make about 35,000 decisions every day. Every single little thing you do, to pick up this pen is a decision.
Okay, yeah.
To, start the car. I've decided to start the car. I mean, there's 35,000 of those every day because almost every second you're making a decision. You just stroked your beard.
That was
you
a
made
decision.
that decision.
Yeah.
You've made a decision to keep growing the beard. Sometimes you shave it. It's really
unconscious decision.
Unconscious decisions. And as we as we make more and more throughout the day, our willpower decreases. So you have better willpower at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
It's like any other muscle, and they say you should work it from the beginning of the day.
I would think that would be the opposite.
But you
would have more willpower like in the middle of the day. Because when I wake up, there's two things on my mind: getting showered and getting out of the door.
Right.
Every I will pass up doing other little things that are necessary.
Well, now I wonder. So I think that like if I just wake up and somebody says, "Do you want this donut?"
Yeah,
I can avoid it.
Yeah.
But at night, when you're tired and you've been sitting there and somebody just brings you a brownie or whatever, I bet you just go ahead and eat it. Don't you think that's why people eat potato chips sitting on the couch?
Probably so
TV?
when they're just being lazy.
So the theory behind it is that willpower is connected to a limited reserve of mental energy. You wake up with the most. Before you go to bed, you have the least.
Yeah.
So all day long, you should be working at willpower and work it like a muscle.
Okay.
Exercise it. Try to minimize the number of decisions you have to make. Simple things like planning your outfit you should do the night before.
I do that.
Do you?
Yes, I lay out everything I need to wear beforehand.
Look how nice you look.
That way I don't have to make that decision when I wake up.
The biggest challenge is first thing in the morning is when your willpower is at its highest.
Yeah.
So get all your work that's really important out of the way before noon.
Okay. But see, like there are other things that I feel like people do unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
Like make your bed. I don't make my bed every day.
I don't.
Do you make your bed every day?
No.
Yeah. I don't do that. I do shower every day, but like little just neat thing, tidy thing. I don't have to clean up on my way around stuff.
You know what they say about that? About cleaning stuff?
Yeah.
I've heard some people say, like if your kitchen's dirty, you'll say, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes and clean up what I can in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And when the timer goes off, you're done. But what most people say happens is you get into it, you're about halfway done when the timer goes on, you just finish.
You don't want to stop. Okay, that's
just finish
fair.
it up. That's like a challenge for yourself.
That's actually, I may start doing that. That's actually a good thing, just to get going.
Well, and you say, I'm only going to spend 3 minutes.
Yeah.
On it. And so then you got dishes around, so you put them in the dishwasher, you clean the counter, whatever. You can't quite get it done in 3 minutes, but you're so far into it, it's like, all right.
Like I'm already here, might as well finish
I'm done. I know. A lot of little mind tricks you can play on yourself, with something like that.
I need to do that, somehow incorporate that with eating.
Well,
stop eating so much.
Eating is, maybe you should have, you make your decisions. Maybe that's why they say a big breakfast, a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
And you make those decisions right at the beginning of the day because it's willpower and you have the most at the beginning of the day.
That's a good point.
So you can have a good, healthy breakfast, and plus that satisfies you for the part of the day, a good part of the day.
Okay. All
right. I'm looking at life differently since this accident,
I would say so.
Yes.
I mean, you got a different outlook. Maybe Are you going to be a little bit more adventurous now?
No, the opposite. In fact, the opposite. You know how I never have any adventures whatsoever, and I'm really boring. Well, now even in the car, now I'm waiting for another car to hit me.
I get that.
Getting in a plane is like, oh my God, I would never.
Yeah.
I would never. Although I'm flying next month. And I don't really know that I want to.
Is this your first big accident?
No. In fact, I've totaled, 3 cars.
Wow.
None of them were my fault.
Fair. Okay.
None of them were one time, 4 cars, and none were my fault. One time I was sitting on Windover Avenue, another big thoroughfare here, at a light. I was about 24, and I was just sitting at a red light, and I looked up, and a guy was just cruising.
Yeah.
And I saw him looking down, like at something near the radio or the gear shift.
Yeah.
And when he looked up, his eyes got really big, and I was like, here it comes.
You should know.
And he just crushed me. And the whole back of my car was just done.
Yeah.
And the boss the next day, I was complaining about it. He goes, oh, quit your whining. So you got asshole. So what? We've all been there.
Never heard that phrase.
I never heard that term before in my life. He goes, yeah, you got assholed. What else?
Suck it up. Get to work.
Then, now you know this one. When I bought the Acura, I had an accident right before that with, I was on Business 40, and I was driving eastbound, and somebody was behind me, and their front left of their car hit the back right of my car, and we both went spinning all around. And I hit the guardrail. So that was another time. Car was totaled.
Yeah.
And that's when I bought the Acura. Now, that's when my trunk came undone, and my basketball shoes, which were in the trunk, came out.
Yeah.
And the woman thought I'd lost my feet.
Oh, that's fun.
She came walking up. She goes, there were these big moon boots, and I thought you'd lost your feet.
I rear-ended a cheerleader out front of school once.
Oh, you asshole.
Yeah, I also hold a cheerleader out front of school. Deployed the airbag.
Did it?
Hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
That's horrible.
I don't think people talk about how much an airbag hurts.
It hurts.
It freaking hurts, dude.
That's the only thing that hurt on me. It hurt my arm and my nose.
Because like the next day, my chest was just, oh my God, it hurt so bad.
You know what else about the airbag? Now, I don't know if this happened in your car. My car was so old in this accident. When the airbag came out and wheezed out.
Yeah.
You know,
but like it was a '93, the one I crashed.
Particles,
and it was like it was smoke everywhere.
Yes, smoke.
It was like dust and smoke. It was like
yes.
I was like, oh,
I couldn't breathe
out for a second.
I couldn't breathe. I thought, is the car on fire?
That's what I thought. I was like, what is going on here?
I did, and like it was a pretty hard crash. So, and when the smoke was in the vehicle, I was like, I'm on fire here. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire. But it was, and then I was like, I think it's the airbag, and it was like stuff was landing.
But it was weird because like when it hit me, I was so discombobulated. The girl got out of her car, and I leaned my head out of my window, and I was like, "That was me."
Yep.
I don't know why I needed to tell her. I felt the need to tell her, like, "Yeah, this was my fault."
She probably
clearly.
knew.
Yeah.
Closest you got to a cheerleader, though. Not
very,
bad.
very close.
Was she upset?
She was not. Thankfully, her dad owned the body shop.
Oh, good.
It was kind of the best case scenario.
That's lucky.
I had to go to some court thing. This Alive at 25 program. I was the only person in there for a wreck and not drunk driving or drinking.
Because you accidentally
I felt like a loser.
Driving,
exactly.
The time that the guy hit me on I-40, Business 40, we both went spinning. I hit the guardrail, and he was in a big truck, like not like an 18-wheeler, but a pretty big truck. And 6 or 8 gentlemen of the Hispanic community climbed out and went running into the woods. And I said, were there people on your truck? He goes, nope. No.
I didn't see anybody.
I didn't see anybody.
Think you saw anybody
You didn't see anybody, did you? I was like, no, I guess not. I don't know if that was was I concussed in the accident?
I think you were.
And
I think you were.
They all scattered to the far winds, and he never contested. He didn't say it wasn't his fault or anything. I mean, that was almost like, I think he came over to my lane, but I don't. Anyway. But everything, turned out okay. I got another car. I got the Acura. It lasted 25 years.
25 years.
And now
so what's the plan now? Are you going to have to get a new car?
No. See how non-adventurous I'm being? I don't know if you know this. About a year and a half ago, my wife got a new car. And so her minivan, so we were either going to sell her minivan or sell the Acura. But the minivan was pretty useful because on long trips, we can still take it because it fits a lot of luggage and stuff. Now, it's a 2009. And the Acura, I didn't want to give up because it was a part of my DNA.
Sure, yeah, that's a part of your personality.
We kept both. Yeah. So now I move right into the minivan.
Get the minivan.
But no one in the parking lot shall ever park where the Acura has parked.
We're doing a memorial spot right there.
We're going to put some lights and some flowers.
We'll do like one of those eternal flames or something for John Kennedy.
Well, it would certainly burn forever.
There's enough oil,
with the oil out there. Might start an oil slick fire after all said and done.
Speaking of memorial, I did want to mention this while we're here. This is our 52nd episode.
Has it been a year?
So that's been a year. This episode right now is our 52nd.
I had no idea.
This marks the year of the Square and the Round.
We have not missed a single day.
No, we have not.
It is still not sold to an advertiser.
It's still not.
But
one of these days, we're still holding out hope.
Has it only been a year?
I feel, it's
good.
It's been a year.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it
better
than it started? Better than when it started?
Definitely better than when it started. Yes,
that's good.
I feel like we're hitting a groove finally.
You know what? Your idea of top 5, of course, it's cliche.
Of course,
it's been done 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But you had that idea, and the top 5 topics that you've come up with were excellent. Today's is my favorite one we've ever done.
I love this one, too.
I could talk on and on about this. Now, last week it was like places to visit and that kind of thing. We're mailing it in. It's 4th of July.
Of course.
But this one, when you came to this, you wanted to do best 5 fictional athletes all time.
That could be from film, TV, books.
And I feel like I did them, but I feel like you will probably say some, and I'll go, "Oh my God, that one's so good! I have to do it."
This was really tough boiling it down to 5.
There's a lot of great ones.
There's a lot of great ones. A lot of ones in my research I feel like were a little overrated.
Oh, really?
But I feel like I got 5 in mind that I like and I enjoy.
You know who you can't do because he's a real person is Rudy from
Rudy. Yes,
because And I don't know how you feel about Rudy. That movie came out, 30 years ago now, but it's Rudy Rudiger who played at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
Never saw it.
It's terrible.
That's what I hear. It's probably why I don't want to watch it.
I hate the movie.
Does it have a young Vince Vaughn in it?
Yeah. For about 2 scenes. He plays a real jerk.
Okay.
But he's only in a couple of scenes you'd never, at the time, he was nobody.
Yeah.
And who's this? Is it, who plays Rudy? It's
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
Yep.
And I guess he's okay. And you'd think it'd be something I would like because it's so rah-rah. Yeah. But I just.
Wasn't he just not good?
He just wasn't good.
He just wasn't good.
Well, he was an overcomer story because the real Rudy was, they describe him as 5'0" nothing, 100 nothing, and he's on the Notre Dame practice team and just goes balls to the wall every practice.
Yeah.
And he's a great kid because he has to work incredibly hard to even stay in school there.
Yeah.
His whole dream was to play at Notre Dame. So they let him on the field for like 3 plays at the end of the season. And I don't know if he he recovered a fumble and stayed out on the field. I don't know if he really did all that in real life. But, I mean, the movie, if you like that kind of thing, I just can't stand Notre Dame.
Fair, okay.
I do not like Notre Dame, and I did not like that movie. But a lot of people love it. But as far as fictional athletes go to your number 5. This is a good discussion, I think.
This may be a little controversial.
Okay.
Air Bud.
Air Bud is a dog.
It's a golden retriever.
Yes.
5-sport athlete.
Okay.
Well documented.
Air Bud.
Yes.
I'm going to write that down. I have not seen it.
Okay.
So I can't really comment on it.
He plays basketball, plays football, soccer, baseball, does everything.
You think that
averaged 15 points. Beat kids out.
Yeah.
Beat humans out on the basketball team.
As a dog. Well, I could have gone with Gus the Wonder Horse. I don't know if you've
forgot about Gus.
You seen Gus?
I'm familiar with Gus. Yes,
I love the field goal kicking
with Don Knotts in that.
Yes.
Field goal kicking donkey or the horse. Yes,
I don't think he's a horse. I think you're right. I think he's a mule.
Yeah.
The Wonder Mule.
Yes.
Gus the Wonder Mule.
Gus the Wonder Mule. Yeah.
God, he's fantastic.
I know he is. But Air Bud.
I didn't think of an animal.
Air Bud did it all.
Okay, I'm going to give you that.
This is my Joey Chestnut pick.
That is controversial. That is a controversial pick. I haven't seen it, so I have trouble arguing with it.
And I will tell you, don't waste your time watching the movies. It's something that you have to watch when you're a child.
Yeah.
But just know that he was the man at whatever he did.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Air Bud is
Air
your
Bud.
number 5. These are the best fictional athletes all time, movie, TV show, whatever it might be. I put Jimmy Chitwood, the basketball player from Hoosiers.
Fair.
But he may not be fictional. That is based on real events.
Is he based on? Okay.
But I don't think he's a real person, so I went with it.
I would say he's a made-up character. I don't think there's any proof that he was actually real.
You saw
Hoosiers? I'm familiar with Hoosiers, yeah.
I tell you, the only thing that bothers me about Hoosiers is that Jimmy Chitwood gets all the credit, but the coach really was doing a nice job without Jimmy Chitwood.
He was.
And at the end of and I don't know why they did it this way, at the end of the championship game, the coach designs a play that should work, and all the players are like, nah, because he wasn't going to have Chitwood shoot it. He was going to have, as they're down by 1 with a minute to go or 10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And the Chitwood goes, I'll make it. And so he changed everything. He's like, all right, just go out there and do it. And so the coach really, who is
he should have changed his mind like that.
That's Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
He should. Coach Norman
you respect
Dale.
Gene Hackman.
But I do love the movie. And I'll have to say, I'll go with Jimmy Chitwood.
Okay.
I do like, because he could shoot the lights out.
Okay.
All right, who's your number 4?
Bobby Boucher.
Who is
from The Waterboy. Adam Sandler in The Waterboy.
Okay.
Outside linebacker. NCAA record, 16 sacks in 1 game.
Is that Adam Sandler?
Yes.
That's from The Waterboy.
From The Waterboy.
I've not seen it.
Yes.
I hate Adam Sandler.
Okay.
I hate all of Adam Sandler's movies. I don't think I've ever seen one that I liked.
With that being said, he was a menace on the field.
Okay.
Probably one of the greatest defensive, maybe the greatest defensive fictional athlete of all time.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I'll take your word for it, but I'll never see it because I loathe Adam Sandler.
Now, so that's good that you say that. So I assumed you don't have Happy Gilmore on your list.
I wouldn't put Happy Gilmore anywhere close to this
because
list.
That was on a lot of lists I was doing research on. But people forget Happy Gilmore was driving greens on par 4s and only winning tournaments by a stroke.
Yeah,
that's not good.
No, and I saw that once.
Yeah,
I hated that movie.
I love the movie. It's fun and it's enjoyable. But when you start playing golf and then you watch it, you're like, this dude's kind of trash.
It's probably the most beloved movie that I hate.
Really?
I viscerally can't stand it.
Fair, okay.
And I just can't. That and Bad Santa, which I absolutely loathe.
All right.
And everybody around me likes it. I put Crash Davis at number 4. He's the catcher from Bull Durham. He's played by Kevin Costner.
Okay.
All right. He's a great minor league athlete. He holds the record for most minor league home runs, which is not a record anybody wants because you're not good enough to make the majors.
Yeah, that's like there's a lot of that's.
But I love him as a character.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
He's great. He winds up with Susan Sarandon. Spoiler alert. You seen the movie?
Never saw Bull Durham.
It's a pretty good movie.
I need to watch it.
I don't think it's great, but it's pretty good. I like it. People love it way more than I do. It's if you like baseball. Plus, it was filmed right around here in Durham.
Because I always associate that movie with The Natural and
love The Natural.
Field of Dreams.
Hate Field of Dreams.
Because isn't Kevin Costner Field of Dreams as well?
Yes, he is.
Who's The Natural? Is that Robert Redford?
That's Robert Redford.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. The Natural's coming up for me. I mean, I love The Natural. Yeah. Bull Durham, there's also the pitcher is Tim Robbins.
That's right.
He's a better player, Nuke LaLoosh. And he goes to the majors.
You said what?
His name is Nuke LaLoosh.
His
name is Epi LaLoosh, but they call him Nuke. That's his nickname.
That's a badass name.
Oh, yeah. Epi Nuke LaLoosh. And he's dumb as a rock.
Yeah.
And spends most of his time having sex with the women who come to the baseball games.
Okay.
And he pitches horribly, but Crash Davis is brought in to make him a better pitcher and to get him to the show, which he does.
All right.
Who's your number 3?
Kelly Leak.
I love Kelly Leak.
Kelly Leak from the Bad News Bears.
Tremendous talent.
Had no direction.
Yeah.
Was a troubled child, smoking cigarettes, riding Harleys with no helmet.
Loved it.
And then they brought him in, and this man is an absolute ace on the baseball field.
It's phenomenal.
Every time he got up to bat, he homered. I'm assuming he homered.
That's a great one. I mean, that one should be on my list.
And
I love
what's so cool about Kelly Leak? He didn't like keeping his helmet on.
No, he
rounded first, knocked it off, and ran the rest of the way.
Every time.
You know how good Kelly Leak was? They were congratulating him on the other team as he rounded the bases.
That's right.
Good hit, Kelly. Yeah, I know. You don't want to mess with me. I'm the man.
They loved it. You know what I love about the Bad News Bears, too? When they finished in second place after losing that heartbreaker in the championship, they just say, piss on your second place trophy, and they throw it down.
Coming back next year. By the way, he was safe.
Oh,
Kelly Leak was safe on that play.
Oh, they got cheated out of that.
Yes,
that's
they
a
did.
That's a great movie.
I love. Between that and The Sandlot, that may be one of the best.
Bad News Bears, I absolutely love.
I do too. Did you watch the remake?
No. Was it any good?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
My number 3 is Daniel LaRusso.
Okay.
Karate Kid.
From the Karate Kid.
From nothing, he wins the All Valley tournament, as you know, and went on to become a great athlete in his own right, and then saved everyone in Karate Kid 2, and now has his own show, Cobra Kai, on Netflix. Yes, I'll just say that, and trained by the great Mr. Miyagi, of course. So I love Daniel LaRusso.
Okay, that's another one of those movies I've never seen. I've seen bits and pieces. Yeah. I've never seen the whole thing.
Oh, you should watch that one. Great 80s throwback. There.
I saw the Jaden Smith one.
Doesn't count.
Okay,
that's not as good.
Fair enough.
That's not as good, and Will Smith is dead to me, so we can't do that. I'm afraid not. Just not the case.
All right. Yeah. Number 2 for me, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is fantastic.
All-American running back at Alabama.
Yes.
Got hurt in the war.
Yes.
Started playing ping pong and represented the United States in the Olympics in ping pong.
Forrest Gump is a fantastic choice.
Yes.
For you. I would almost say the same thing, but I feel like he does so many other things. It's like the athletic stuff is not.
No, the fact that he was an All-American running back, that's like the
I know. It's like the bottom of it.
You're
right. Yeah. Forrest Gump is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Forrest Gump. I agree with you. My number 2 is Roy Hobbs, who's played by Robert Redford in The Natural.
Okay.
Incredible athlete. I mean, he was like Ruthian. Okay. That's how good he was. You should see The Natural.
I need to watch The Natural, yes.
There's a lot of good twists in The Natural that are really good. I think you'd like it. I'm a huge fan of The Natural, and I love Roy Hobbs. Started as a great pitcher, finished as a great hitter, very much like Babe Ruth.
Oh, wow, okay.
People have said to me they think that the team he's on the New York Knights, and everybody says it represents the Yankees, but I think it represents the New York Giants, because they play in the National League Championship Series.
Okay.
They play against the Pirates.
Yeah.
They never go to the World Series. You don't know.
Yeah.
You never see them play in the World Series. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Great novel from what I understand, and great movie for sure. The Natural.
I'll have to check out The Natural.
I'll say Roy Hobbs. All right.
I have a feeling you and I have the same number 1.
I doubt it. I doubt that very seriously.
You really?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Rocky Balboa.
We do have the same.
Okay, thank you.
But you don't know Stallone.
I know Rocky.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the I've seen Rocky 4.
You didn't see the first Rocky.
Never saw the first one. But I'm familiar with the essence of Rocky.
You really should see the first one.
I know I should.
The fourth one is the worst of them.
No, it's not.
Well, no, sorry, the fifth one is
okay.
the worst.
Yeah, the fourth one may be better than the second. I think the fourth one's maybe the second best one, even though I have never seen the first
I don't
one.
think so.
Okay.
I mean, I saw the first four, and I would rank them 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I mean, myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't get into that whole thing in Russia. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
But the first one, my God. I mean, it was a Best Picture nominee.
Yes, it was.
It's fantastic.
Did it not win?
It may have won.
It
may have won Best Picture.
Yes.
Yeah, it probably
Or Best
did.
Original Screenplay or something.
It won. He won something.
Yeah.
It might have won Best Picture. It is a great movie.
But the idea of Rocky Balboa, an American, just rags to riches, like pump yourself up. Like if anybody needs to be motivated,
oh my God,
just go watch Rocky. A Rocky movie. You know what I mean?
100% right.
Yes.
Have you seen Creed?
I have seen Creed. I saw the first one, and that was the only one.
I always put Apollo Creed as the second, as one of my athletes.
Okay, yeah.
The guy he fought, and who's in Rocky 1, 2, and of course he dies in Rocky 4.
Yeah,
you really should get to know that character. He's like the villain in Rocky 1.
Yes,
and then becomes.
Because I know they get cool. They fight in the first two, right?
Yeah, they do.
Then he fights Mr. T, and then Ivan Drago, and then Tommy Gunn.
I didn't see the fifth one.
Well, no, he actually didn't fight. They had a street fight.
His son or something.
Yeah, it was never. Yeah. They never really boxed.
I heard that one's terrible.
Yeah,
and then I didn't see Rocky Balboa either. Have you seen that?
Didn't see Rocky Balboa. Wasn't there another one?
It may have been. But when they brought back Creed with Michael B. Jordan, that's pretty good. I saw the first one.
That was a good one.
I thought that was good. I didn't see the next one after that.
Yeah.
The first Rocky is you'll cry. It's that good.
Because was that the one where he wakes up and he eats like the 3 or 4 raw eggs?
Yeah, a bunch of them.
That's the one where he's punching the meat.
Yes.
That's the one where he's running through Philly up the stairs.
He does that in 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
Then they had to change the formula up a little bit for 3.
Exactly.
3's great too. I mean, every time it's on, I find myself watching it.
But without me seeing the movies, I do understand how great of an athlete he is and how great he is to. The culture and the lore of it. So
when it starts, he's just he's just a regular guy,
just a guy,
just a guy at the gym, and all of a sudden he gets a chance to be heavyweight champion of the world.
Absolutely,
it's a great choice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised yours is Rocky though, because I didn't know that you knew the movies.
Like I said, I know Rocky, and I know how important he is. So,
man, you got to see Rocky.
I know, I need to watch that. That's gonna be I need to get in the gym, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Start hitting some meat.
I'm going to the gym now.
All right.
You can eat some. You'll probably eat some deli.
I will
meat
eat some
meat.
Yeah.
Something.
Hit it.
Another square in the round.
Yes.
Oh, 52 of them. And the best one is the 52nd.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll do it again next week.